Hi. Well, the other day, perhaps a bit more, I've done a video in Hebrew because, well, one, I honestly didn't want to do it. So I wanted I wanted to have as little possible impact as possible. Now, since I just can't help it, well, that video started with some people pissed me off, and then it moved on to basically a bit of analysis of the recent few years, not Trump, by the way, between Israel and America, and then some of my thoughts about how could it progress in a way that will not blow up in everyone's face. Well, one, when you check the past there, there's certain bits of propaganda that were allowed to propagate and other things, history events, it, be it from the um, evangelical Christians who basically try to convert everyone in, or the evangelical Christians who wants to support, and if that is actually sincere, yay. America at first has tried to basically eat, you know, long term. Israel was basically so that when the end times come, the Messiah will be on their side or whatever to get great the great gifts of the blah blah blah, be it the Jewish version or Christian. That aside, in later years, it became more of a economic thing. Israel is still growing demographically. That is, we're actually producing people that go out and still allow for the country to grow. That's not really the case anywhere else in the West, or otherwise, where you actually probably want the people from there. If you're being pragmatic, that is. So they'd want that. Now, instead of progressing along that line, which can be legion, I'll go to, well, in the case they don't actually conquer us with war, but with diplomacy and manipulation, lots of it. If they want that to be a stable thing and not something that will blow up in their face so far, so hard, so deep, here are the basic things that need to be done. Us Israelis are very much attached to our culture, as you can well imagine. So, among the compromises between the two, the American government's policy on language of forms where the inhabitants will have to include the Israeli, i.e., Hebrew, Arabic, and Russian will both have to be available to anyone who contacts the government anywhere in the Federation, that is, the United States. Why? Well, this will allow Israelis to maintain their culture even when they travel outside the local state, Israel. Now, the other thing that is equally important, some would say even more so, America's view of hate crimes is both not serious enough and too serious. let's see, not serious enough. Basically, it's not far reaching enough. You want to do this stuff so that it actually helps the groups it's trying to protect, not harm them. So, also, sorry, you need to be not be racist. Hate crime is a hate crime. Doesn't matter if it was done against a white person who is Christian. You know, or at least it shouldn't be. Oh, don't forget straight, because if they're gay, then whatever. So, any group that has that is at the upper reaches relative to size, high amount of either A, hate crimes done against it, or B, done by it, or both, will need to face a to need to pay a bit more taxes, a bit more percentile on taxes. Why? That extra will go into, well, welfare within it. That means schooling and all that. You don't like to call that welfare, but it is. Sorry. If they committed more, well, they pay that much and it goes to the groups they harm the most. So, and this needs to be not about race as in ethnicity, but as a group based hate. You hate someone not because they are them, but because they are part of that particular group. And yes, that these days includes politics as well. Now, do that, and you'll probably have a bit more. You'll have a bit more cohesion within the groups. Oh, and by the way, if a group that has all this done against them, i.e., are the victims of relative to size, a lot of hate crimes, well, the judgments within the group, i.e., sentencing, will need to be a little bit more strict because you don't want people to actually start hunting for that shit. Now, do you? So, now, like I said, not serious enough. And in too serious, well, your punishments are not very useful. What you really need is not the not necessarily greater sentence to the criminal, but rather greater consequences to the group as a whole, i.e., taxation, i.e., the person's family has less qualifications for any form of welfare. That kind of stuff. Social problems calls for social solutions. That's how it goes. So you have that and that. These will basically make sure that Israelis will not have that much of a problem with it. They will not be happy about it, by the way, but it will never reach the level of trying to conspire their new overlords. You know. Especially, it was there before we joined. By the way, that bit, hate crime, should really use that one in the way you use that system now. Because, damn, it's a shit show. I'm not even American, I know that. Sorry. Either way, just I'd honestly really prefer, you just fix your own problems before trying to add us into your mix while you're blaming us for your misfortune.